You're not poor because of the economy. Yeah, I said it. Not because inflation is high. Not because jobs are limited. Not because rich people are lucky and the system is rigged. That's the story you've been told. That's the story you've been repeating to yourself. And that story is keeping you exactly where you are. Because the moment you blame the economy, you give away your power. Think about it. If the economy is the reason you're broke, then what can you do? Nothing. You just sit, complain, scroll social media, and wait for things to get better. But here's the truth nobody wants to hear. There are people getting rich in the worst economies. There are people building businesses during recessions. There are people multiplying their income while others are losing jobs. There are people rising while everyone else is making excuses. So what's the difference? It's not the economy. It's mindset. It's discipline. It's decisions. You see, poverty isn't just about money. It's about habits. It's waking up late and calling it rest. It's spending hours on your phone, but saying there's no opportunity. It's avoiding hard work, but dreaming about an easy life. You don't get poor overnight. You build it slowly through daily choices. Every time you choose comfort over growth, you invest in staying broke. Every time you avoid learning a skill, you delay your success. Every time you blame something outside your control, you weaken yourself. And the dangerous part? You don't even realize it's happening. Because blaming the economy feels good. It protects your ego. It gives you a reason to stay average. It lets you sleep at night without facing the truth. But comfort is expensive. It costs you your future. Let me ask you something. If the economy is so bad, then why are some people still winning? Why are some people making money online from their phones? Why are some people starting from zero and building something real? Why are some people grinding while others are complaining? Because they understand something you don't. The economy doesn't control your work ethic. It doesn't control your discipline. It doesn't control how many hours you put in. It doesn't control whether you learn, adapt, and grow. That part is on you. You can't control inflation. You can't control the job market. You can't control what's happening globally, but you can control your effort. And effort, over time, beats excuses every single time. You don't need perfect conditions. You need a decision to stop blaming, a decision to take responsibility, a decision to do what others are unwilling to do. Because let's be real, most people don't fail because they don't have opportunities. They fail because they don't take them. They wait. They wait for the right time. They wait for motivation. They wait for someone to save them. But winners don't wait. They move, even when they're tired, even when they're scared, even when nothing is guaranteed, because they know something powerful. Action creates opportunity, not the other way around. You don't wait for a better economy to improve your life. You become better, and then your life improves. That's how it works. Look at your daily routine. Be honest with yourself. How much time are you wasting? Scrolling, watching, complaining, comparing. Now imagine if you took just 2 to 3 hours every day and invested it into learning a skill, something valuable, something that pays. In 1 year, your life could completely change. But most people won't do it. Why? Because it's hard. Because it requires consistency. Because it requires sacrifice. Because it forces you to face your weaknesses. And that's where most people quit. They'd rather stay comfortable than become capable. But here's the truth. Nobody is coming to fix your life. Not the government. Not your boss. Not your family. If you don't take control, nothing changes. And the longer you wait, the harder it gets. Because time doesn't pause for you. Every day you waste, someone else is using it to get ahead. Every hour you complain, someone else is working. Every excuse you make, someone else is winning. So ask yourself, are you really poor because of the economy, or are you poor because you've accepted a mindset that keeps you stuck? Because once you change your mindset, everything changes. You stop looking for reasons and start looking for solutions. You stop blaming and start building. You stop waiting and start moving. And that's when things begin to shift. Not overnight, not instantly, but slowly, consistently, powerfully. Because success isn't about one big moment. It's about small actions repeated every single day. While others sleep, you work. While others complain, you improve. While others quit, you push forward. And over time, that gap becomes massive. So don't tell yourself you're poor because of the economy. That's the easy way out. Tell yourself the truth. I'm exactly where I am because of my choices, and I have the power to change it. That's not comfortable, but it's powerful because now you're in control. You say you want to change your life, but your actions don't match your words. You talk about success. You dream about money. You imagine a better future. But when it's time to act, you hesitate. You delay. You distract yourself. And then you wonder why nothing changes. Listen carefully. Your future is not built on what you say. It's built on what you do every single day. And right now, your daily habits are exposing the truth. If someone followed you around for 24 hours, watched everything you did, every minute, every decision, would they say, this person is going to be successful? Or would they see someone wasting potential? Because that's the real test. Not your intentions, not your excuses, not your plans, your execution. You see, people love to blame external things because it's easier than fixing themselves. It's easier to say, the economy is bad, than to admit, I lack discipline. It's easier to say, there are no opportunities, than to admit, I haven't prepared myself. It's easier to say, life is unfair, than to admit, I'm not doing enough. But growth begins where excuses end. And right now, you have a choice. You can keep blaming, or you can start building. Because the truth is, you don't need a perfect environment to succeed. You need a stronger version of yourself. A version that wakes up early, even when it doesn't feel like it. A version that works, even when there's no motivation. A version that stays focused when distractions are everywhere. That's the version that wins. Let's talk about discipline. Because discipline is the bridge between where you are and where you want to be. Motivation is temporary. It comes and goes. One day you feel unstoppable, the next day you feel lazy. If you rely on motivation, you will always be inconsistent. But discipline doesn't care how you feel. It shows up when you're tired. It shows up when you're bored. It shows up when you'd rather do anything else. And that's why disciplined people dominate. Because while others wait to feel ready, they're already putting in the work. Let me ask you something. How many times have you started something and quit? A workout plan, a business idea, a skill you wanted to learn. You were excited in the beginning, but then it got hard, and you stopped. That pattern right there is keeping you broke. Because success is not about starting. It's about finishing. It's about continuing when it's no longer exciting. It's about pushing through when progress feels slow. Most people never reach success because they quit too early. They plant seeds and then dig them up before they grow. They expect results in weeks when it takes months, sometimes years. And when they don't see instant success, they say, it's not working. No, you just didn't work long enough. You didn't stay consistent. You didn't trust the process. And that's why you're stuck. Because consistency is rare. Everyone wants success, but very few are willing to do the same thing every day without immediate reward. That's the real challenge. Can you keep going when nobody is watching? Can you keep working when nobody is clapping? Can you stay focused when results are invisible? That's what separates winners from everyone else. Not talent, not luck, consistency. Let's get real for a moment. You don't need more information. You already know what to do. Wake up earlier. Work harder. Learn skills. Avoid distractions. Stay consistent. You've heard it all before, but knowledge without action is useless. It's just noise. And right now, you're probably consuming more content than you're applying. Watching videos, listening to podcasts, scrolling through motivation, but not doing the work. And that's dangerous because it creates the illusion of progress. You feel like you're improving, but your life stays the same. So here's what you need to do. Stop consuming and start executing. Take one skill, just one, and go all in. No distractions, no switching, No excuses. Whether it's freelancing, coding, sales, content creation, whatever it is, master it because skills pay the bills. Not excuses, not complaints, not opinions. Skills. The more valuable your skill, the more valuable you become. And when you become valuable, money follows, opportunities follow, respect follows. But you have to earn it. Nobody owes you success. Nobody is going to hand it to you. You have to build it, piece by piece, day by day. And yes, it's going to be hard. There will be days when you feel like quitting, days when nothing works, days when you doubt yourself. That's normal. That's part of the process. But those are the moments that define you, because weak people quit in those moments. Strong people push through. They don't let emotions control their actions. They don't let temporary pain stop long-term progress. They understand something powerful. Pain is temporary. Regret lasts forever. And one day, you will look back at your life, and you will ask yourself, did I really try? Or did I let excuses control me? Because time is moving, whether you act or not. And every day you delay, you're getting further away from the life you want. So stop waiting. Stop blaming. Stop making excuses. Take control. Right now. Not tomorrow. Not next week. Not when you feel ready. Now, because the truth is simple. You're not poor because of the economy. You're poor because you haven't become the person who can create wealth yet. But the good news? That person can be built, starting today. Let's be brutally honest now. Most people don't actually want success. They like the idea of success. They like talking about it. They like imagining it. They like posting quotes about it. But they don't want the lifestyle that comes with it. Because success is a price. And that price is uncomfortable. It's waking up when you don't feel like it. It's working when everyone else is relaxing. It's staying focused when your mind is begging for distraction. And most people simply aren't willing to pay that price. They want results without sacrifice. They want money without effort. They want discipline without struggle. They want a better life without becoming better themselves. And that's why they stay stuck. Because reality doesn't work like that. You don't rise to the level of your dreams. You fall to the level of your habits. Read that again. Because that's the truth most people avoid. Your habits are your real life, not your goals, not your plans, not your intentions. Your habits. If your habits are weak, your life will be weak. If your habits are strong, your life will be strong. It's that simple. So instead of asking, why am I not successful? Start asking, what are my daily habits creating? Because right now, your habits are building your future. Either you're building discipline or you're building regret. There is no middle ground. Let's talk about comfort. Comfort is the most dangerous addiction in the world. It feels safe. It feels easy. It feels good in the moment, but it slowly destroys your potential. Every time you choose comfort over growth, you are choosing a smaller life. You are choosing to stay average. You are choosing to stay stuck. And the worst part? It doesn't feel like a bad decision. It feels normal. Sleeping in feels normal. Scrolling for hours feels normal. Avoiding hard things feels normal. But normal is exactly why most people never escape their situation. Because normal leads to average, and average leads to struggle. If you want an uncommon life, you have to do uncommon things. You have to be willing to be different. While others are wasting time, you're working. While others are complaining, you're improving. While others are quitting, you're continuing. And yes, people will notice. They might laugh. They might doubt you. They might even try to pull you back. Because your growth makes them uncomfortable. Your discipline reminds them of their laziness. And instead of rising up, they try to bring you down. So you have to be strong enough to ignore them. Because this journey, it's lonely. Not everyone will understand you. Not everyone will support you. But that's the price of becoming something more. You can't expect average people to understand an above-average mindset. So stop explaining yourself. Stop seeking approval. Just work. Silently. Relentlessly. Let your results make the noise. Now let's address fear. Because fear is another reason you stay stuck. Fear of failure. Fear of judgment. Fear of not being good enough. And because of that fear, you don't even try. You stay in your comfort zone, where it's safe but nothing grows. But here's what you need to understand. Failure is not the opposite of success. It's part of it. Every successful person you admire failed multiple times, more times than you can imagine. But the difference is they didn't stop. They didn't let failure define them. They used it. They learned from it. They grew from it. They came back stronger. While you fail once and you quit. You take one hit and you retreat. You try something that doesn't work immediately and you say, "This isn't for me." No, you just didn't give yourself time to improve. You didn't give yourself time to adapt. You didn't give yourself time to become better. Because growth takes time. And most people are too impatient to grow. They want fast results in a slow process. And when that doesn't happen, they go back to their old habits, back to comfort, back to excuses, back to blaming the economy. But winners, they stay in the process, even when it's slow, even when it's frustrating, even when it feels like nothing is happening, because they understand something powerful. Progress is invisible until it's undeniable. For weeks, months, maybe even years, it looks like nothing is changing. But underneath, everything is changing. Your mindset, your discipline, your skills, your resilience. And one day, it shows. Suddenly, people call you lucky. Suddenly, people say, "You made it fast." But they didn't see the struggle. They didn't see the nights you stayed up working. They didn't see the sacrifices you made. They didn't see the moments you want to quit, but didn't. They only see the result. And that's fine, because you're not doing it for them. You're doing it for you, for your future, for the life you refuse to settle for. Now let me challenge you. If nothing changes in your life, where will you be in 1 year? Same habits, same mindset, same excuses, probably in the same place, or worse. And that should scare you, because staying the same is the biggest risk of all. But if you change your habits today, if you become more disciplined, more focused, more consistent, where could you be in 1 year? Completely different, stronger, smarter, more capable, closer to the life you want. That's the power of daily decisions. Small actions, repeated daily, create massive results. But you have to start, and you have to stay consistent, no matter what, because no one is coming to save you. No one is going to magically fix your life. It's on you. Always has been. Always will be. So stop looking outside. Stop blaming the economy. Stop waiting for something to change. Be the change. Take control. Do the work, even when it's hard, especially when it's hard, because that's where growth happens. That's where transformation begins. And that's where your new life starts. This is your wake-up call. Not tomorrow. Not next week. Right now, because the life you keep thinking about, it's not going to appear out of nowhere. It's not waiting for you. It's demanding something from you. Effort, sacrifice, consistency. And if you're not willing to give that, then you don't want success as badly as you think you do. You see, everyone says, "I want to be rich." Everyone says, "I want freedom." Everyone says, "I want a better life." But very few people ask the real question, what am I willing to give up for it? Because something has to go. Your distractions, your bad habits, your excuses, your comfort zone. You can't keep living the same life and expect a different result. That's not ambition. That's delusion. If you want something different, you have to become someone different. And that transformation, it's not easy. It's painful. It will test you. It will push you to your limits. There will be days when you feel like you're not making progress. Days when you feel lost. Days when you question everything. But those days, they're part of the journey. They're not signs to stop. They're signs that you're growing. Because growth is uncomfortable. It forces you to face yourself, your weaknesses, your fears, your excuses. And most people run from that. They distract themselves. They avoid it. They stay busy doing meaningless things, just to escape the reality that they're not where they want to be. But you don't run. You face it. Because deep down, you know, nothing changes until you change. Not your income, not your lifestyle, not your future. It all starts with you. So stop waiting for the perfect moment. There is no perfect moment. There's only now. Right now, you have two choices. Stay the same or level up. Stay comfortable or grow. Stay average or become unstoppable. And make no mistake, staying the same is a decision. It might feel like you're doing nothing, but doing nothing is a choice. A choice to stay stuck. A choice to stay broke. A choice to stay where you are. And every day you don't act, you're reinforcing that choice. You're telling yourself, this is okay, even when it's not, even when you know you're capable of more. And that's the worst part, living below your potential, knowing you could do better, but choosing not to. That's a different kind of pain, a silent pain, one that grows over time, until one day you look back and realize you wasted years, years of opportunities, years of growth, years you can never get back. Don't let that be your story. Don't be the person who talks about what they could have been. Be the person who actually becomes it. But that requires action, not motivation, not inspiration. Action, daily action, even when it's small, even when it feels insignificant. Because small actions, done consistently, create massive change. You don't need to be perfect. You just need to be consistent. That's it. Consistency beats talent. Consistency beats luck. Consistency beats everything. Because most people can't stay consistent. They start strong, then fade. They get excited, then distracted. They make plans, then quit. But if you can stay consistent, if you can show up every single day, you already have an advantage. Now, let's talk about responsibility. Because this is where everything shifts. The moment you take full responsibility for your life, you take back control. No more blaming, no more excuses, no more pointing fingers, just ownership. My life is my responsibility. Say it and mean it, because once you accept that, you stop being a victim and you start becoming a creator of your future, a creator of your success, a creator of your life. And that's powerful because now you're not waiting for things to happen. You're making things happen. You're building, step by step, day by day. No shortcuts, no excuses, just work, real work, the kind of work most people avoid, the kind of work that doesn't get applause, the kind of work that happens in silence. But that's where the magic is, in the silence, in the grind, in the moments when no one is watching. That's where you separate yourself. That's where you become different. And over time, that difference becomes your advantage. Now imagine this. 1 year from now, you stayed consistent. You worked on yourself every day. You built skills. You stayed disciplined. Where would you be? Think about it. Your mindset would be stronger. Your income could be higher. Your confidence would be different. You wouldn't even recognize the old version of yourself. That's what's possible. But only if you start. And only if you don't quit. Because starting is easy. Finishing is rare. So be rare. Be the person who doesn't stop. Be the person who keeps going. Be the person who outworks everyone. Not for attention. Not for validation. But for your future. Because your future is watching you. Your future self is either proud or disappointed. And that depends on what you do today. So ask yourself, what am I doing right now that my future self will thank me for? If the answer is nothing, then it's time to change that. Right now, not later, not someday. Now, because the truth you've been avoiding is simple. You're not poor because of the economy. You're poor because you haven't demanded more from yourself. You've accepted less. You've tolerated mediocrity. You've allowed excuses to control your actions. But that ends today. Today, you take control. Today, you raise your standards. Today, you decide. No more excuses. No more waiting. No more average. From this moment forward, you move differently. You think differently. You act differently. You live differently. Because now you understand. Your life is your responsibility. Your success is your responsibility. Your future is your responsibility. And no one is coming to save you. So save yourself. Put in the work. Stay disciplined. stay focused, and never go back to the person you used to be